1, 2, 3, 4. I'm testing.
Episode of ADQ's Renaissance. I am your one, the only. I am your curator. I am your guru. I am the all-speaking, not the all-seeing, but the all-speaking ADQ. It is Monday morning. It is May 13th, 2024. I'm recording this on a Sunday afternoon, but still, it is May 13th, 2024. Why do I present this on Monday? I'm going to tell you why I present this on Monday, because Monday is hereby the most negative, frowned upon, hated day of the week. But on Sunday, just the day before, you're talking about it's the Lord. Sunday is the Lord's day. Every day is the Lord's day. You know what I'm saying? So, it is Monday morning, and this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Today, I am going to talk about what is an Uncle Tom. What is an Uncle Tom? Why? Because I saw an article earlier that kind of concerned me, and I wanted to talk about this. So, we're going to talk about what is an Uncle Tom. We're going to talk a little bit about Mother's Day, because yesterday was Mother's Day. But first, let's get into the theater. There are certain theaters that are presenting incredible productions locally, and I would like to shout them out. You know what I'm saying? Over at Stained Glass Playhouse, where I have created lots and lots and lots of magic with them. They are doing Our Town. They are doing a show called Our Town. Let's see. They are running May 3rd through 5th, which you've already missed. 10 through 12, you've already missed. But there's still time to see them on the 17th and the 19th. Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Sundays at 3 p.m. The Sunday matinee tickets are $20 for adults, $17 for senior citizens, $15 for students and teachers, and $10 for children. For tickets, call 336-499-1010. Or visit stainedglassplayhouse.org/ourtown. Again, it is Our Town, directed by a friend of mine, Mark Graves. Let's see. It's two casts. There's a blue cast and there's a red cast. The red cast is May 3rd, 5th, 11th, 17th, and 19th. The blue cast is May 4th, 10th, 12th, and 18th. So that is Our Town. Come check it out. Let's see what else we got here. And also tonight they're having tonight at 7 p.m. over at Stained Glass Playhouse. They are having auditions for Cinderella. So pull up. It's Cinderella. You know what I'm saying? And over at 4401 Indiana Avenue, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Over in the Trey Boat. Let's see what else is going on, man. Winston-Salem Theater Alliance. They always got something cooking. over at Winston-Salem Theater Alliance. So right now what they're doing is Once on This Island. They give a PG-13 rating, Winston-Salem Theater Alliance. They get very creative. Let's see. Tickets are $21 for adults, $19 for seniors, military, and students. www.theateralliance.ws.box_office. The performances are May 10th, 11th, missed that, 17th, 18th, 18th at 7:30 p.m., May 19th at 2 p.m. So, pull up to 650 West 6th Street, Winston-Salem, Trey 4, and check them out. You know what I'm saying? Winston-Salem Theater Alliance never fails. And also this one, this next one also, over at the 40 Plus Stage Company, The Old Settler. Enter 1940s Harlem, where love is tested between two sisters. A young man searches for what he thinks is love, and a young woman chases a new kind of love. Is an old settler really too old to find love? Get your tickets now. The cast is Mayor Hutchinson, Taranza Gray. Shout out to Taranza. She wants to play my baby mama. Hayden Crawford. Great Hayden Crawford. Shared the stage with that brother. And he's been on the podcast. So shout out to Hayden. And Shelby Johnson. Directed by Robert T. Rich McGee. I never worked with her before, but I hope to one day. May 10th, 11th, 17th, and 18th at 7:30 p.m. May 19th at 2 p.m. There's still time to go see it. Yo, just lock yourselves in Winston-Salem for some good theater this weekend. And it's taking place over at the Gallery Theater at the Intergenerational Center for Arts and Wellness. So, yo, pull up, check them out. Also, pull up to the Little Theater Winston-Salem and check out Ripcord. Ripcord, which will be taking place over at the Haynes Brand Theater. Keep that in your mind for a split second. 497 West 2nd Street, Winston-Salem, Trade 4. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. The tickets range from $14.50 to $27 for adults, not including taxes and fees, with discounts for students, seniors, and groups of 10 or more. Tickets are available online at www.ltows.org or by calling the box office at 336-725-4001 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 4 p.m. This production is directed by Matthew Cravey, who I have had the privilege of performing in Truman Capote's Holiday Memories with. Yo, he was the narrator. I was the bully. Great times. Also on the Aaron and Dan podcast, when they were called Riley Live, there was this episode called Cravey Train. He was the guest, and my rap vocals, my affluent rap vocals were the opening theme. So, yo, it's all good. Also, let's keep in mind on Little Theater of Winston-Salem, because another thing that's taking place at the Little Theater of Winston-Salem is Beautiful, the Carole King musical, which will be opening next month, June 7th through the 9th, 13th through 16th, and 20th through the 23rd, Thursday through Friday at 7:30 p.m., Sunday at 2 p.m., Saturday, June 15th and 22nd at 2 p.m. Also at the Haynes Brand Theater. Tickets starting at $13.50. Come check it out. You know what's the most beautiful thing about Beautiful? You want to know what's the most beautiful thing about Beautiful? I'm in it. Your boy ADQ is in it playing the drifter. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be drifting up on the roof. Yeah, that's just a little bit what you'll get. If you want to get the whole package, pull up and come see a boy do his thing in the theater. It will be my first Little Theater Winston-Salem show in daggone 11 years. Last time I was in one, it was the best Christmas pageant ever. It'll be my first Little Theater Winston-Salem musical since Susical. I'm sorry for getting loud. I am just excited. All right. So pull up, come see it. I promise you'll enjoy it. I promise you will enjoy it. So let me straighten up this light a little bit, so y'all can see more of your boy. Again, the hair, the locks are gone. The locks are gone. Y'all, so many kids have been reacting to it, talking about, where's your dreads? Where are your dreads? They are in a bag in my drawer and they are gone. Not forever. I don't know what I'm going to do next with my hair. I might just rock it like this for a while. I don't know, but yo, oh my God, I feel free. I feel free, man. So, another thing I would like to promote real quick, if you go on GoFundMe.com, type in help ADQ, please help ADQ drive. You'll see my fundraiser. Please help ADQ drive. I'm trying to get on the road. I've never been a driver my entire life. It's a little embarrassing to admit that, but hey, it is what it is. There's other people who've never been drivers, most of them up north, who knows, but there are so many situations that one can apply to the lack of one having their licensure or driving or whatever. Don't be a judgmental prick, just help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? So far my donations have reached $708. So if you feel it in your soul, help a brother out. If not, pray for a brother. So speaking of prayer, let me talk about something really serious and deep real quick. So you're listening to this on a Monday morning, but I'm recording this. Yeah, whatever. I got a text message. I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon. Today, this particular Sunday afternoon, is Mother's Day. while social media and commercials and everything is being flooded with everybody loving their mothers, celebrating their mothers and everything, there is a population out there whose reference for their mothers is not all that favorable. You get what I'm saying?
May I say something to you to give you a true knowledge of yourself and life, so that the same glory and success attained by other men who understand themselves may be yours? Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man in lacking the knowledge that man is used to beautify the world and produce all that he needs for his happiness and civilization. Look the world over, and whatever you see in it that is pleasing to man, contributing to man's comfort, to his needs and to his satisfaction, it is but the work of man. Man blessed with the knowledge of himself and the understanding of all things around him. If you are able to live with the knowledge of yourself and with the greater knowledge of nature, you must know what is good and what is not. You must know what is finite. You must know that which is material, physical, and otherwise is at your disposal to create or otherwise use. If we leave America and go over to the east to Japan, they will be telling their fellow citizens of Japan of the wonderful accomplishments of the Japanese people, proving that man is moving onward as time moves on. But you have hated yourselves as you have done in previous years. You have shown malice, prejudice, and hate to each other. And the result is that while other races have made progress, while India has made progress towards nationalism, while Ireland has made progress towards republicanism, while the whole world has made progress in man's accomplishments, you still stand fighting yourselves, dishonoring yourselves, showing no disposition toward that higher life so that you will be abundantly blessed. So reflect and think that you were created for some purpose other than exhibiting malice toward your neighbor or fellow men of your own race. What a pity it is that we cannot stand united without a written law. There is no written law compelling other races to stand together. They are brought together by the gentle touch of nature. The unwritten law of nature causes them to stand together on all occasions. So wheresoever you find them in the field, that one gentle touch of nature causes them to stand together, if need be, die together. But with the black man, you can preach to him from the pulpits. You lecture from the platforms, from the byways and the hedges. The spirit of cooperation, but he will not cooperate. You talk to him gently, you try talking harshly to him, he still will not cooperate. The result is that he falls prey to those who understand themselves and walk through the world making you their serfs and slaves. You must acquire an understanding of yourselves. Look around you. See the smiling pictures of nature, the beautiful hedges, the wonderful mountains, the wonderful vegetation all around. But because of your disposition to each other, you live in suffering, in want, in penury, and in debt. You lack the gentle touch of nature, love for each other. You hate yourselves. Black men, and what is wrong with you? Why have you no affection for yourselves? Could I hope to see you living among yourselves as the people I've spoken of? Living in charity, love, and in sympathy with each other? It can be done. I wonder if you will adapt that course. Isn't it easier to enjoy prosperity than to live in ignorance and darkness? Why select the worst out of nature? Nature never gave pain, suffering, and death to the world. It was man himself who selected death, pain, and sorrow. I wonder if I cannot inspire you to select between good and evil. Let me impress upon you once again that whatsoever your hardships may be, whatsoever your difficulties in life, they are your own selection. And so if you encourage them, if you husband them and take them to your bosom, they will abide with you. Nature will not take them away from you as Mother Nature did not give them to you. She is not responsible for your sorrows. Mother Nature represents all that is beautiful. She gave you the highest personality in the realm divine. Your sorrows are your own. If you want joy, if you want sunshine, it is before you abundantly in nature. I made a selection of sunshine, the beautiful sunshine. I made a selection to laugh with the moon, to laugh with the stars, and sing with the birds of the forest and of the wilderness, to join in the rhythmic music of the winds that sing from east to west and from north to south. Had I selected sorrow, I would have been dead a long time ago, and been without that which would send me into the presence of the divine, because I would have lived not with the knowledge that is divine. We must acquire the higher knowledge of life. Black men and black women, will you get the knowledge that the white man has that causes him to be leaders and masters in the world? They are not gods with a peculiar source for understanding the world around them. They have only given expression to the knowledge of their humanity and been able to use and conquer all to their satisfaction and glory. And that is why they are always greater than you in every community that you find them. Isn't it strange that wheresoever the white man is found, he takes precedence over you? Why is that so? Answer that for yourselves, black men and black women. Wheresoever you come in contact with the white man, you always have to go down in defeat before him. Whether it be in England, in France, or in America, you always have to go down to the white man, and yet he has 2 eyes, 2 feet, 2 hands, same passions, same senses and feelings as you have. Your feet are not put on opposite sides, nor your hands turned around the other way. But it's because you fail to use your will, your knowledge, and your mental faculties to the point where you will enjoy life around you. I'm only here and not in the gutters and in the pond of despair because I use my intelligence. And I swear that no man alive shall ever use his intelligence in understanding the works of nature more than I. I shall rise as high as he ascends. I shall meet him on the same platform of mental equality and fight him till thy kingdom come, because nature created us equal. I want you to make up your mind as I've made up my mind years ago. Make up your mind that you will rise to the knowledge of your soul. Because of your ignorance, you cannot understand and decide between good and evil. You don't know whether you're doing right or wrong. With a greater knowledge of life, you're able to appreciate all things around you. I'm able to gather you here because I understand you. Understand your neighbor, your wife, your children, and you will be able to live in harmony with each other and get the best out of life.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to ADQ's Renaissance. I think there just might be some force of nature or something out there, some vibe out there that does not want me to tell you all this greatness that I have to provide for you all today, because it's been a little bit of a struggle to adequately and fully record this episode for you all and give it to you all. But hey, it's Monday morning and we're still cooking. All right? We're still cooking. Let's see. I've given great details of some theatrical shows that are taking place in the area, and tap into the audio version of this episode for to hear it. A lot of theaters got a lot of great things going on. One of them I am participating in. So, but what I was about to start saying, and I am going to go ahead and expound upon. So I am offering this. I am presenting this on a Monday morning, but I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon. This particular Sunday today is Mother's Day. Now, while it is a mainstream consumer-based narrative to celebrate your mothers and everything, which is something that I honestly think that you should be doing every day, there is a population out there of people with mothers, of people who do not have a good relationship with their mothers. There's a population out there of people whose mothers may have passed on, so this day may be a bit sensitive to them. I'm not going to go completely into this because I just don't want to, but I will say once an authority figure of mine on the job asked me if I went to see my mother for Mother's Day, if I gave her anything, and I said no. I don't celebrate Mother's Day. I don't acknowledge Mother's Day. None of that. Well, I do acknowledge Mother's Day because I will wish Mother's Day to women who have been instrumental in my life. But as far as my own personal relationship with my biological mother, it is not a good relationship at all. It never has been. So me, I just show love and show love to friends who are mothers. If I'm dating a woman who's a mother, her too, all that. But I do not have any reverence for any holiday, Mother's Day being one of them. And I would like to say to anybody who is listening to this, who is watching this, if you do not have a good relationship with your mother, I would just say, make sure you love yourself. Make sure you love yourself. I am a strong advocate for self-love. Anyone who looks at you and says you only get one mother, that's BS. Yes, you get one mother, but if you live long enough, if you are an open individual long enough, then you are going to encounter women who cannot help but thrust motherly energy onto you. That has been my story. You know what I'm saying? There have been times when me and my biological mother, we've had good times and everything, but it's just a storied relationship that I'd rather save for the therapist couch and not for my podcast. But I would say to you, if you're listening, if you're watching this, and you do not have a good relationship with your mother, first challenge: forgive her. Forgive her for any wrong that she has done. Why? Because that forgiveness is not for her, it is for you. Because if you are living life, if you are carrying around vitriol, bitterness, and hatred towards an individual, that saps you of your energy. You know what I'm saying? And saps you and relieves you of any positivity that you can contribute to society. Why? Because while you're trying to contribute positivity or productivity or fruitfulness, is going to be tainted by this hatred that you have for this other person. It's an encapsulating energy that you may have. So first thing first, forgive your mother. Second thing, you do not have to deal with her. You don't. You really don't. You can love somebody from afar. That is the thing. You can love somebody from a distance. Because if they are coming at you with the type of energy that completely just drowns out your existence, then they don't need to be there I don't care who they are. Third of all, and I believe this is most important, love you. Make sure that you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, because recently I learned of a whole bunch of kids who don't love themselves, and it's really sad, then wake up every single morning, look yourself in the mirror, and stare at yourself until you can muster up enough energy to name 3 things that you like about yourself, and then you say, I love you. Like me saying, I love you, Adrian. I make sure that you love yourself, because when you are so full of love for yourself, then whatever negative, then eventually as time goes on, that negativity that your parents had tried to thrust upon you because they were not healed from whatever trauma they dealt with, it would become less and less and less and less and less effective. So that is my challenge to you who is listening to this. Because there's enough negativity going on in this world. We need to shut it down. We need to end it right now. You feel me? So one reason why is because that negativity feeds into very, very toxic behavior. One toxic behavior I have, perpetuated for maybe a year or 2 or 3 was sexual promiscuity. Cover your ears, kids. To today I went to church, right? Again, I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon. And one scripture that stuck out to me was Proverbs chapter 31. We talk about Proverbs chapter 31. We talk about the virtuous woman, but this is what it says. Proverbs 31 verse 3. It says, "Do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings." Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I've given my strength to women too many times. You know what I'm saying? I've allowed myself to get caught up in the season of sexual promiscuity. But when you are wrapped up in sexual promiscuity, that means that there's something missing in your life. That obsession with something, the way that addiction to something is kind of like trying to fill the lack thereof that may be occurring in your life, and that's something that we all need to acknowledge and try and fix through prayer, through meditation, through other ways of healing, because there could be a whole aspect of healing that needs to occur for that, right? Let's see. Verse 4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine or rulers to take strong drink. I'm not a drinker, so that doesn't apply to me. But we'll go to, let's see, verse 8. Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are destitute, the homeless. Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and needy. Just letting you know, downtown Greensboro is filled with homeless people, and yet they are tearing down the old Greensboro News and Record building. Oh, what that can be. Oh, what they can do with that building to help the homeless and the needy downtown. And they are like, and if I'm not mistaken, they're like, forcing them to outskirts of forces or whatever. So yeah, that's Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3, 4, 8, and 9. Alright. So yeah, love yourself. Love yourself. Okay? Don't be looking for love from anyone else. Nah. Love from other people will come eventually. I think about the story of Naomi, the story of Ruth and Naomi. Ruth it's in the Bible, it's in the book of Ruth. This is before Boaz. Ruth's husband had died. Her sister-in-law's husband also died. Both husbands were sons of Naomi, and Naomi was such a powerful figure to Ruth, such a powerful mother figure, that Ruth decided, hey, I'm gonna hitch my wagon to this woman. I'm gonna follow her. And that's exactly what she did. And so when I think about the mother figures that have taken place in my life, that's what I do. So yeah. So I read this article today. I mentioned this before on this podcast about being an Uncle Tom. Yeah, we're going to transition now. We're going to talk about being an Uncle Tom. Even as brilliant as the great El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, Malcolm X, whose birthday is coming up, as brilliant as he would call certain Negro leaders, Martin Luther King being one of them, and Uncle Tom. But the description of an Uncle Tom is not factual at all. So where does this narrative that is Uncle Tom comes from? It comes from this book that is called Uncle Tom's Cabin. I'm just going to read this article. Most people have heard or used the term Uncle Tom when we refer to a sellout, but did you know that the inference is totally wrong? The real Uncle Tom was a hero. Josiah Henson was an abolitionist who helped slaves escape, among other great things. Josiah Henson was born into slavery in 1789 in Charles County, Maryland. Growing up, he watched his father receive beatings for standing up to his slave owner and witnessed his father's ear being severed as a part of the punishment, but also his father being sold off. Upon the death of his father, of his owner, Henson was also separated from his family in an estate deal. Sale. He remained on his new owner's farm in Montgomery County, Maryland, until he was an adult. As he aged, he rose to become a trusted enslaved and supervised other enslaved people on the farm. However, he used his new position to make his escape from slavery. Following the Underground Railroad, Henson escaped from Maryland to the province of Upper Canada in Ontario, Canada, with his wife and 4 children by way of the Niagara River in 1830. Henson worked on farms in his first years in Canada to support his family. In 1834, he founded a black settlement on rented land. He purchased 200 acres of land in Kent County and founded a settlement and laborers' school for other fugitive slaves. Henson later became a Methodist preacher and a conductor on the Underground Railroad between Tennessee and Ontario, helping the enslaved escape from slavery. He also served as a military officer in the British Army in Canada. So stop calling these sellouts Uncle Tom. That's a compliment. It's Sambo that was a sellout. Sambo. The Sambo is a archetype. It's a slave archetype. And the Sambo will do anything for his master's approval. Have you seen Django? Stephen was a full-on zip-down Sambo. So, what's the difference between? So, let's break this down just a little bit. All right, I'm not going to talk long. Okay. I've been called an Uncle Tom. Anybody who knows me in the type of knowledge that I kick on a regular basis will know that ADQ is no Uncle Tom. I'm sorry. See, I just contradicted myself. I've been called an Uncle Tom without knowing what Uncle Tom really is. I've been called an Oreo. Why? Because of the mere fact that I, ADQ, do not fulfill the stereotypical the description or lens of a black man. That's why I want to tell you all that I believe that there is absolutely no such thing as acting black. You cannot act black. What did Carlton Banks say in a powerful episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? He and Will Smith were trying to get into a fraternity. Will, being a hip-hop loving, dancing and whatnot brother from Philadelphia, was more accepted by the heads of the fraternity. But the fraternity, who was one of these so-called conscious brothers, had the locks and everything. No disrespect to the conscious, no disrespect to the locks, but just roll with me as I'm painting this picture. Will gets in. Will's a cool kid. Will gets in. Carlton is rejected. Why? Because the head of the fraternity, a brother who I believe was actually in School Days, the Spike Lee movie School Days, anyway, he rejects Carlton because of what Carlton is. Carlton's a conservative. Carlton dresses more conservatively. Carlton is from a rich family and lives on a very, very rich part of town, right? Will, however, is more accepted because he's more hip-hop loving, fun loving, and great with the girls, and he's from West Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? So we have painted that picture right there, that distinction among different classes of black people. But what did Carlton Banks say? He said, being black is not what I'm trying to be, it's what I am. I am running the same races and jumping the same hurdles you are, so why are you tripping me up? There's no such thing as acting black. Carlton didn't say that, I'm saying that. You don't have, if you are black, you are black. Period. There's recently been an argument rather. Sorry about that. There's recently been a distinctive argument rather about J. Cole and Drake. By the way, I recorded an episode on Rap Beef like a couple weeks ago. Kendrick been spanking Drake's behind. You know what I'm saying? He's just been laying the smack down. And, Metro booming with the joint. Baby Al Drizzy has been playing in my head all non-stop. And I'm okay with that. BBL Drizzy and songs from The Beautiful. But what I'm trying to get at is Drake is biracial. He has a Jewish mother and a black father. So is J. Cole. Both of them are biracial, right? Both of them have white mothers and black fathers, right? J. Cole and Kendrick said in a lyric, that Drake using the N-word makes him cringe, right? Whereas J. Cole uses it a ton in his brilliant lyrics, but I hate, you know what I'm saying? But J. Cole uses it. One would call Drake a culture vulture, yet one will also call J. Cole down and can come to the cookout, right? But they both have a white mother and a black father. Guess who else has a white mother and a black father and was raised in a white household and is very much invited to the cookout? Barack Hussein Obama, whom we have looked at as the black savior for 8 years. But if you listen to him talk, he's going to sound super articulate, non-stereotypical in every way, shape, form, or fashion. So what are we really saying here? What are we really saying here? So does one speaking articulately and dressed in a certain way, does that quantify them as a sellout? Me personally, I don't think so, but in the minds of ignorant people, it does. However, when Barack Obama comes on the scene, you are all over him. Yet we're calling Drake, who also has a white mother and a black father, a culture vulture. As much as I dislike Drake, he is not a culture vulture. Blackness is not a monolith. There are so many different realms of black people living this human experience. Just because they don't cuss, go after T, just because they cannot recite the lyrics of Good Times, which the reboot is a complete hot garbage. Just because they don't know, just because they don't say all the time when someone says God is good, that does not take away or deviate in any way, shape, or form their blackness. I mean, if you really want to get real, I say this in the poem. Look at me. My beard is black and white a little bit. You know what I'm saying? My beard is black, my hair is black, but my skin's not black. I'm not black. My skin's not black. It's brown. It matches a brown crayon. Ooh, are we ready for that discussion? Ooh. Are we ready for that one? What makes me black? Number one, what makes me black is the fact that the Portuguese was speaking Spanish during the early years of the slave trade, of the child slave trade, and they referred to the darker people as Negro because, or Negro, Negro, which is Spanish for black. But what is the root word of Negro? Necro, which means death. So if you call someone black, you kind of calling them a dead person. Really deep thinkers would say that. Me, I just go along with black. Just for the sake of conversation and to save time. But if you really, really, really think about it, Israelites will tell you the same thing. They would look at you and say that you're an Israelite. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad would call you a so-called Negro. So we running around here. We're running around here. Daggone, there are people who call us, who say that we're Africans. I say we're Africans. I call myself an American-born African. The census would call me an African American. I say American-born African. However, you do not become an American that is associated with another continent unless you actually come from that continent. That would make you an African American because you got the dash and the hyphen, and you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. How about we just call ourselves melanated individuals? Because there's also black people or African Americans who don't even come from Africa, who have no ties to Africa, whose genealogy will show zero Africa, maybe a Kibula, but you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. How about we just go by melanated individuals? And once we think about all of this, when you think about the different realms of human life that's occupied by black people, we will come to the conclusion that there's no such thing as acting black. So if you see me talking articulately, if you see me just living life, know that I'm not being a sellout, I'm just living life, yo. But I think that sample behavior is still very prevalent. If you are selling out people or doing harm to people who look like you, all for the applause for a dominating society, for a dominating group of people, i.e. white people, then that will make your behind sell out. 100%. If you are down talking people who look like you, all to appease people who don't look like you, that's some Sambo behavior. 1 billion percent. 1 billion percent. That's Sambo behavior. That's why I don't trust black politicians, to be 100% honest with you. I don't trust black politicians. I don't care. I looked at the debate between Raphael Warnock and the football player, I forgot his daggone name. I'm like, I don't trust either one of these dudes at all. I trust no black politicians. I don't trust any politicians, but black politicians, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at with 6 eyes. A black face in a successful place does not necessarily mean success for everybody. Because how do I know that you are not going into that space with the mindset of a overseer head slave? That's all I'm saying. So when we really think about all that, one can be a Sambo, one can be a buck dancing, step and fetch it Sambo, just trying to appease a certain group of people. But one is an Uncle Tom, and they're not a sellout. And what makes one a sellout? When you are going up against the best interests of not people who act like you, but people who look like you. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? And also, I would like to distinguish this before I get up out of here. Listen, I tell this to kids regularly because they need to know, because I hear the word racist thrown around all too loosely. Check me out. If if you're black, if you are a melanated individual, you cannot be racist. It's impossible to be racist. How? I'm gonna tell you how. First of all, racism is a construct, is a systemic construct that that benefits one group of people. That's why you talk about white privilege. You don't hear very much about black privilege. Why? Because black people. That's why black people, numerically speaking, have very little privilege. There's the black elite. There's the talented 10, but that does not overlap. That does not consume a large population of black people, right? We're going with the black connotations to keep this thing moving. I will tell them, that's like me showing favoritism and helping students who are black like I am, and not paying no attention, not showing no love to students who are not black like I am. That's racism. I'm sorry you had to hear that. Allergy season. Bigotry is what you're thinking of. Bigotry is when you hate people because of the ethnicity that they are. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? When I was a kindergarten teacher assistant, I got like 70% of my hugs from, you know, kids who did not look like me. You know what I'm saying? Look, Asian kids who love me, you know, of course, black kids who love me, Hispanic, all of that. So I got love for everybody. I got love for everybody. But bigotry, if you just look at someone and say you're Asian, I don't like you. You're Hispanic, I don't like you. You're black, I don't like you. That's bigotry. I will also say prejudice. Prejudice is when you look at me and say you're black, therefore you must not know your father. I do know my father. I'm not close to my father. I don't deal with my father, but I do know him. You must like rap music. Yeah, I like rap music. I do. You must sag your pants. Yeah, my sagging days are far behind me. You must smoke weed. Nah, never smoked weed my entire life. So, you know what I'm saying? That's prejudice. In other words, you're prejudging someone before you even get to know them based off of the stereotypes that are attached to their ethnic background. So, I attend Mercy Hill Church here in Greensboro. If you walk into Mercy Hill, you're going to see more white people than anything else. Why? Because I just happen to like the way the pastor speak. I've been in and out of that daggone church for like 6-7 years. And I just happen to have a talk with myself and realize I just happen to like going there. However, I'm a Pan-African. I want to see a growth of black businesses. I want to see, I'm gonna talk about black businesses in just a minute. I want to see a growth of black businesses. I want to see a sustaining and maintaining of HBCUs. I want the black narrative to go far beyond slave movies, trauma pieces, and Black History Month and Juneteenth. I wanted to go far beyond that. I was rocking with Juneteenth and Kwanzaa. I was rocking with Juneteenth long before Joe Biden, who is no friend of black people at all. No friend, only a pandering Democrat. Oh God, stop, Adrian. Don't get on that soapbox. I was rocking with Juneteenth long before Joe Biden made it a national federal holiday. If anything, I think that kind of like dilutes it. So I'm Pan-African, politically, socially, but I don't mind going to that church to get what I need, you know, in terms of rocking with the Bible. What was I getting at? I'm sorry, I got lost. So I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, y'all. So pretty much, black people are not monolithic. There's different shades, different personalities of us in different ways. You know what I'm saying? There's the nerdy ones. I'm nerdy to a certain degree. There's the jocks. There's the athletes. All that. Therefore, please don't tell the nerdy kids that they are acting white. They're not acting white. They're just being smart and they're being intellectual about things. Okay. All right. That being said. Yo, come see me in Beautiful, the Carole King musical. I'm playing the Drifter, and we're killing it right now. Rehearsal process is great. At one point, I was like smiling. I was full of joy. I was like, "Thank you, God, for this. Thank you so much for this, because I'm loving it." This is ADQ's Renaissance. Yo, if you like this episode, if you want to hear more, if you want to be tapped in, yo, like, share, comment, subscribe to channel ADQ here on YouTube. ADQ, this has been your Monday morning. Go out there, show love to everybody. If we love ourselves, we will thrust that love onto others. And if God allowed you to wake up to see a brand new day, you can best believe that God has more business for you to stand on. Okay? Alright, I'm ADQ. Much love. Peace.